Hello and welcome to the show. This is Everything Under the Sun. My name is Ty. I hope all of you are doing amazing. I'm sitting in a really awkward position right now. My back's been killing me for the past. It's actually been hurting for the past few months, but I think it's been getting a lot worse. I tried doing a little tennis ball thing where you kind of rub the tennis ball on your back. Well, you roll it on your back from on the floor and work out the knots that way. But I woke up at like 3 a.m. with like a shooting pain in my back, so I think that kind of just made things worse. But I don't know. I'm gonna stretch more and maybe see a chiropractor or a massage therapist or something. I'm not really sure what to do, honestly. Like, if any of you are body workers or something like that, like, feel free to send suggestions about my back pain or anything that maybe I should do to kind of help alleviate that. I've been looking up things online, but nothing seems to work. Or maybe I'm just not doing it right, or maybe I don't know. But anyway, everything.somepodcast@gmail.com if you want to send any ideas or thoughts about my body pains. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I witnessed a crime the other day. I was driving to go pick up something that I was going to get from Facebook Marketplace, and I drive down this road going towards the neighborhood, and there's this guy, like this older man, that's like standing by a HVAC looking van, and his hands are on like the back of the trunk, and he's kind of looking both ways of the street, like really sketchy looking. And it looks like he wants to cross the road, like he's looking for a clearing. It looks like he's looking for a clearing in the cars, like he's waiting for the cars to pass. So I slow down, like, to let him go past, and I see that the frantic and kind of like shifting eyes that he has going on, like, it doesn't change. It's like he doesn't even realize that I slowed down. And I keep going, realizing that he's not going to cross the road. And the sketchy vibes that he gave off made me kind of like look in the rearview mirror, and I kept looking, and it just so happened that like after me, there was a gap in the road. There were no cars coming, and I just see him in the mirror taking this like big plastic bag and like struggling to move it, and it's on the other side of a van. So like the van was parked on the side of the road, and I couldn't see like the passenger side of the van. So on that side of the van, like, he's like struggling to get like this big, like this huge plastic bag. um you know I thought he was putting it into the ditch, but he was actually putting it into his trunk, I think, maybe. But anyway, I'm driving. I go pick up the thing, and I go back, and I, of course, stop at the location, like by the ditch, to see if there was a dead body or something in there. And fortunately, there wasn't, because I definitely went through a lot of scenarios in my head of, if I found it, like, what the hell was going to look like, if I was going to have to call the cops. And, well, I mean, I was definitely going to have to call the cops, but just like, if I was going to have to, work out my alibi and call the person I just picked up the thing from. It was a whole situation, but fortunately I didn't find a body. But he was definitely sketchy, and he was up to no good. I'm certain. Like, it was a foggy, mellow day. Like, there was no reason to be that sketchy, and he was. And I don't know what was going on, but if it turns out to be a crime, then I will let all of you know. But that was definitely something interesting. But aside from that, gonna get with the program today, and the topic's going to be on immigration. So I'm gonna get this box going, figure out what the topic's gonna be for next week. Again, you can send those topics to everything.somepodcast@gmail.com, and I would love to put it in the box and talk about it one day. But topic for next week is going to be mental health. And this is something I advocate for. This is something I firmly and strongly believe in. It's something that's so much bigger than I think a lot of us believe in. I think that many people believe that, mental health is just, anxiety and depression and, things like that, and things that you go see a therapist for. But mental health it's literally our mental health. It's the health of our mind, and we're constantly with ourselves. So it's important to be mindful of ourselves and to, take care of ourselves in a mental domain as well as our physical domain. So that's going to be an amazing topic. Can't wait to speak about that. Mental health. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. So that's what the topic is for next week. This week is going to be immigration. And, I've watched a lot of videos, lectures, speeches, stories that people were just like of their either experience of being an immigrant, like their political views on immigration, or just different facts about immigration. And I wrote pages of notes on things, and I realized that I'd be regurgitating a lecture. That's not something that I seek to do, because as I thought about it, as I was watching all the videos, and as I do research for these topics, I try to think about the deeper root of it. Because I may have mentioned this before in the podcast, but things that constantly keep coming up in our lives, they're important for a reason. They're there for a reason. They keep happening for a reason, and there's something deeper within all of it as to why it's there. And immigration is something that has been pervasive in since the beginning of travel. It's like it's something that before we even labeled it as immigration, it was something that people were doing, and people were moving from place to place. But it's something that's within our lives, and it's something that's kind of within the essence of who we are as humans. Like we aren't stationary within like the place that we live, and we seek to be part of the world. We seek to be part of different places, and we have dreams that are maybe reach further than where we live. So immigration is something that's part of our lives. And as I heard these stories, as I listened to these speeches, I really wanted to dissect and break down what is this idea of immigration, because there's something a lot more to it than just these facts and these figures and these things. It's something that's so much bigger, and something that's deeper and deeply rooted within all of us. And it's the fact that it's again, it's part of our humanity. It's part of who we are as humans. And that made me kind of realize that we're speaking about this idea of immigration, and as we speak about it today, or as I speak about it through this episode, I want it to be a constant reminder that we're speaking about humans. We're speaking about people with hopes and dreams and loves and fears and goals, things that they want to aspire towards, things that they want to have for their families, dreams that they want to create, and happiness that they want to have in their lives. And that's what we're speaking about. That's truly what we're speaking about at the root of it all. It's opportunities for people that want to create a life for themselves that maybe is different from the life that they had. And it's at the root of everything that we are. Whether we have descendants that have come to this country, or whatever country you're in, voluntarily or by force. With the United States, slavery was something that brought a lot of people here, and a lot of people have descendants from slaves. And it's something that is ingrained within the very culture and essence of this nation. And I speak of the United States, but as the world grows and as people expand into different places, that same testament goes for every other country in the world. Immigration is shaping the way that the world is. I mean, the world is growing and it's developing at the rate that it is because different ideas from different parts of the world and different cultures and different values are coming together in this way to create this new world that we are living in. So we have to start to recognize that these are humans, and this is humanity that's starting to develop. And with that developing humanity is going to be the crossing of these borders. It's going to be the breaking down of these constraints that are keeping people locked into their home dwellings, and expanding them and moving them into the world where they have an abundance of opportunities and so many ways of reaching people and understanding themselves a lot more. So I could speak about all these different ways in which immigrants have shaped the country and really created ways in which like we live our lives. I mean, we know that like there are so many things within our lives, like Google, Tesla, Zumba. There's the list goes on and on with these things that have been created because of people that have come to this country and started to live their dreams or to enact the things that they wanted for themselves. But again, it's not without obstacles, and it's obstacles that we are creating for ourselves. I was listening to this talk, and this guy brought up a very valid point where it's like, in the early 1900s, when people were traveling and immigrating to the country, or immigrating to whatever country that they were going by boat, and they may have died from like, just the weather, like the elements, like the, nature killing them, or disease or something like that. But now, people are dying because of, hate crimes. People are being persecuted and trying to survive because of the hatred and discrimination that they have to go through. So although immigration is continuing to be a presence in the world, the way that it's being responded to is vastly different, and it's on us. It's starting to fall on the people that are in the environments in which people are immigrating to. We have to change the way that we are responding to these humans that are coming to this country. And I mean, something that I've always been amazed with was the fact that people come to the United States and they speak like 3 different languages, and although their English may be a little broken, they speak English, Mandarin, French, Spanish, and their language is so vast. And it's like a lot of times people will say negative things about the way that they speak. Yet at the end of the day, like, how much knowledge and how much, true comprehension is necessary in order for you to survive in this environment that, again, you are not from. So there's so much value in just respecting the fact that, these are humans that are overcoming many obstacles, that are placing themselves in a very nerve-wracking situation. I'm not sure how many people can say that they've left their home country and went somewhere else just, to try to live their life and start a life. How scary can that be? Some people don't even live their hometown. This is something that is, it's so big because, again, it's part of us. We do these things, 23andMe, we go to ancestry.com, we try to find these exotic and creative ways in which we're part of the world. But when those parts of the world try to come into our hometown or come to, like, where we know and where we're familiar with, we seem to be, like, xenophobic in a way. We seem to be afraid of, oh, who are they? Like, why are they here? What's going on? And although that's not the general idea, because I believe that a lot of us have experiences where we've connected and communicated and have created value in connecting with people from different backgrounds and cultures and places, but there is still this general idea of just, negativity of just, like, perspective of immigrants. And this is something that's not just in the United States, this is in the world. And this is something else that, like, I got while I was researching, where, worldwide generally there's like this negative connotation towards just the word immigrant and then the idea of immigrant. So I think when we label someone as immigrant, I think that it dissociates them. It creates this dissociative idea of just, like, removing them one step from being just another human. And I think that as we kind of remove that barrier of that word immigrant and we say, like, who is this person, and I think that we can get at the root of, just creating so many amazing things, and just by creating that connection and creating that opportunity to share ideas and really be a world community. And I think that that's something that, I mean, it's something I personally try to move towards. It's something I want to move towards is being a world community member. I want to be in the world. I want to be part of the world, and I feel as though there are these barriers that keep us from being able to do that. And that's why, like, the words that I spoke about, like the guy from Costa Rica, I spoke about it in, I think, the last episode or the episode before last. Really, these boundaries that we have, I said that he spoke about this, where, a dog walks across the boundary and it doesn't need a passport because the dog is part of the land. Just as humans are part of the land, like, we are part of this planet Earth, and these boundaries are meant to divide us, and that's exactly what they do. And they keep us from realizing that the person on the other side of that line is a human being. And although we may have different cultural backgrounds, we may have different languages, we may have different things that we have in our lives, different ways of living, we may still have very similar values. We still have love, we still have family, we still have people that we want to protect and care for and give opportunities to. And I think when we break it down to that core root of why people make these sudden moves, do these drastic things that they know they're going to be facing persecution through or facing some kind of obstacle through, they continue to do that because of this essence of what they truly desire within themselves. And I think when we see it from that perspective, we can have so much more empathy when we encounter someone that is in fact doing that. So as, we recognize that immigration is part of the world that has been created and will continue to be part of the world that continues to be created, we have to realize that we also have to change with that. We have to change the way that we think about this idea. We have to change the way that we interact with people that are from different places. And I think that also doing this will allow us to maybe feel a little more comfortable being a world community member. Maybe taking a step outside of your comfort zone, because I know listening to these stories kind of resonated with me, because I've had ideas of leaving the country and starting a life in another country. And all the ideas or the fears that these people have spoken about in their stories, these are all fears that I didn't even realize that I had, but they're there because I resonated with them. I felt something when those words came out of their mouths, and also it was just like sadness and the fact that people have to experience that because they want to live their best life or want to just like live the life that they know. I think that it's something that's very unfortunate, to hear that story. But I think that when we can place ourselves in those shoes, I think that it brings a lot more meaning to it. I think it brings a lot more value to the fact that, this person, this is just another person. This is just another person that wants to be happy, wants to find happiness in some way, wants to create their dreams in some way, wants to provide for their family in some way. And in that light and in that mindset, we can grow so much within ourselves and our ideas for what we want for ourselves, and in the ways that we interact with the people around us. So I think the main part of what I wanted to get at with this is, as we think about other people, other humans, and creating this world that's more accepting of different people and different cultures, it really, I mean, the main idea of it all is to just create these equal opportunities, create these equal experiences, for people, where it's like, no matter what label is put on you, no matter what, hurdle, I suppose, is being put in your direction, I think as people we can come together and recognize that this is another human, and if I have the ability to help in some way, then I'm happy to help. And even if that help is just a friendly smile, saying hello, offering a helping hand when someone needs help, it can mean so much. Like, I mean, think about the people that you have in your life that you're close with. Like, they're people that maybe they've been there for you when you were in pain. They stood up for you when you were, kind of in trouble or something. Stand up for people. Be there for people. Talk to people. Smile with people. Enjoy the company of people, because you will be amazed at the people that you come across with in your life, and the ways in which they can create value in your life. So I think that this is an amazing topic. I feel like it was going to be either very, very long or kind of shorter, and I think that the long version was something that got at a more logistic essence of immigration, and I think that I wanted to get more at the human fact of it, because we have so many labels, we have so many words, so many things that we put on people, and it removes, again, it associates that idea or that fact that we are all humans. And if we don't remove those labels, if we don't look at the root of all of it and see that, then those labels are going to blind us, and they're going to make us fearful. They're going to make us think irrationally. They're not going to allow us to see the truth that is right before us. So recognize the humans that are around you, give love, share opportunities, and be open to communicating with people and cultures that are outside of you. So that's all I got for this episode. I hope it was what the person was looking for, although I'm not really sure, because I guess with so many ideas with immigration, I doubt that they probably wanted to go in that direction. But I think that's what I get from this idea of immigration, and from the culmination of all the information, all the stories, everything. I see humans, that human struggle, and it can be correlated in so many different domains. And I think that that's kind of where it comes down to us just recognizing that we're all humans, and this is part of the human condition, and that we have to recognize that, and by that recognition, we can make change. But yeah, that's all I got. You can email topics or thoughts or ideas or anything like that to everything.sunpodcast@gmail.com. You can join the Instagram page at everything.sunpodcast, or you can join the Twitter page at everysunpodcast, or you can join the Facebook group if you want at Everything Under the Sun with Ty. Yeah, that's all I got. I love you all, and I will see you next time.